Well, the one team that's caused Real Madrid the most problems this season is Atleti. We're just taking a look here at their record at Atleti against everywhere else, and it really does tell the story of how things have been when they come up against Diego Simeone's side in the current campaign. So all eyes will be on the most recent edition of El Derby, because we've been able to see quite a lot of them this season. Luis Garcia, what can we expect from the latest one?
Same. I think that we are going to find a fantastic and exciting game. Both of the teams arrive in a very, very good moment. Real Madrid, we've been talking about it. They are with a lot of confidence. It doesn't matter who is on the field, that they manage to get the results. They manage to find a way of scoring goals and also to get points. And Atletico Madrid, finally, we saw that version that we all like. Very solid at the back, very consistent, and at the front, we all know that Griezmann is the player to have an eye on. He's always special, but now they have recovered Memphis Depay, that I think that they are gonna give them something different. With Morata in top form, Memphis give you that pose, that quality at the front, who can match any single one that Real Madrid can have. So I think it's gonna be very exciting. Very difficult to call, because any of the teams can get the result, can get the 3 points. But again, I think that both teams are arriving at the perfect moment to face each other.
What's been the talk then in the Spanish capital, Alex? Because obviously this season, when we've seen these two sides meet, we've all been entertained, but we just don't know what's going to be the outcome of them.
Yeah, they've been really high-quality games, and they've been unpredictable, haven't they? The first time they met back in September was really interesting, because I think that was a game that Real Madrid and that Carlo Ancelotti learnt quite a lot from. Like I say, their only defeat in La Liga so far this season. It was a game where they were really exposed out wide on the wings. This diamond formation that Ancelotti was trialling at that point, some of its weaknesses were exposed, and Ancelotti responded by sort of tweaking the team, tweaking the midfield, shifting the position of Bellingham out to the left-hand side to sort of cover, help out on the left wing, and we've seen a much more solid Real Madrid since that game. So that was a defeat that Real Madrid learnt an awful lot from. And since then, well, they met in the Super Cup when Real Madrid came out on top, and in the end, it was tight and it was close, but Madrid were the better team in the end, and Atletico just ran out of steam. And then, of course, the Copa del Rey when Atletico came out on top. So it is unpredictable. The big difference here, of course, is that it's at the Bernabeu, which is different because Atleti have made a bit of a fortress of the Metropolitano in the last year or so. But yeah, it's very, very, very difficult to call, because Atletico have got some top players. You talk about Griezmann and Morata, two of the best forwards in Europe this season in terms of their goal scoring, and they can cause Real Madrid's defence some problems. If you've seen, especially a Real Madrid defence that's been robbed of a number of players through injury. But yeah, I think it's very, 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 very hard to predict or to say which one's going to come out on top, because if we've done anything this season, it's that either of these two teams is capable of beating the other. The one thing for sure, I think, is that it is going to be good fun. It is going to be entertaining. In the past we saw some Madrid derbies that weren't that much fun. That it could easily finish in a goalless draw, a 1-0 or a 1-1. But what we've seen this season is hatfuls of goals, and let's hope we see more of that on Sunday.
Yeah, as Alex said, Luis, it does seem to be the stadiums between these two that are difference makers. But for you, from each team, who's going to be a difference maker for both Atleti and Real Madrid this weekend?
Well, I guess that for Atletico Madrid, in the way that he's been playing, I think that Griezmann is going to be the one who's going to make the difference, because his quality, his awareness, his football intelligence is the one who is the difference maker. And for me, he's the player that when he's on the ball, anything can happen for Atletico Madrid. Everything goes through his feet, and he's the player who has been outstanding the whole season. Sometimes it will not be ball as much, but every single time where it is, Atletico Madrid goes through. And for Real Madrid, we all think that maybe Bellingham could be the one, but I will go with Vinicius. In Vinicius, if he's in a top four, if he's focused, if he's thinking about being a threat for Real Madrid, he's very unstoppable. He's a player who likes to show and shine when these games arrive. And if I was Atletico Madrid, I would be ready to have one or two players always covering that left side, because definitely Vinicius is going to be there trying to hurt them.
Are Atleti going to finish above Barcelona this season, Alex?
I mean, right now it looks like it. You'd have to say Barca, are in a battle for top four. Atleti have had their moments earlier in the season when we were talking about them as, are they potential title contenders? Would they make it a three-horse race? They've had one or two drop points since then. I think right now, yeah, I think you'd back Atletico Madrid to finish above Barcelona. We know how desperate Barcelona are for Champions League football, how important that is for them with their financial situation as well. That's also true for Atletico Madrid, who we've seen active a little bit in this January transfer window, spending a bit of money to strengthen the squad in some key positions. But they need Champions League football every bit as much as Barcelona do. Right now, let's be honest, right now it looks like a race for the title between Real Madrid and Girona, and it looks like Atleti and Barca are two of the teams, alongside one or two others, who are battling for top four.
With how, Alex, just sticking with you, obviously because you were there today at the game, with how Real Madrid finished, do you think that's going to be a similar 11 to the one we'll be seeing against Atleti for Real Madrid this Sunday?
It's a good question. It's an interesting one. There are a number of positions where, yeah, you think that Ancelotti's got some decisions to make. You guys have talked a lot about the goalkeeper, so I probably don't have to go into that again. But otherwise, we saw Dani Carvajal coming off the bench at right back. You'd expect him to start ahead of Lucas Vázquez. Questions in midfield. Ancelotti has options in midfield. He went for Luka Modric today, but quite often in the big games this season, Luka Modric hasn't been a starter. He's been a player who's been benched, so wouldn't be too surprised by that. And we saw Joselu starting today, of course, and scoring twice. I mean, he's made as good a case as he could make to start in the derby, but equally you wouldn't be too surprised if it was Rodrigo and Vinicius Junior who start up front, and if Joselu is another option off the bench. And the other one, of course, is let's see if Rudiger, exactly what he has, if it is just a dead leg or a knock, or if it's something more serious, and if he's available at centre back for the weekend. Because if not, then it will be Tchouaméni, as we've said, dropping into defence, and that leaves a gap in midfield, which you'd expect someone like Eduardo Camavinga to occupy at the base of the midfield.